Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to our channel. The topic we're going to debate today is broke or bougie, the podcast where we talk about money, life, and all the things nobody taught us in school. I'm Holmes.
And I'm Melody, and today we're going in.
We are going in. Today's topic: why does every Gen Z person I know look at their bank account and go, that can't be right?
Including us, let's be honest.
Okay, fair. But seriously, is it us? Are we just bad with money, or is something bigger happening?
Spoiler, I think it's the economy. Holmes thinks it's the iced lattes.
I didn't say just the lattes. I said choices matter. We'll get into it.
We will absolutely get into it. And look, we're not here to shame anyone. We're here to have a real conversation, the kind your parents probably didn't have with you.
If you're listening while checking your bank balance right now, first of all, same. Second, stay tuned. Let's go. All right, I'll go first. I genuinely think a big part of why we're broke is the choices we make every single day without thinking twice.
Okay, define choices.
Okay, subscriptions. How many do you have right now?
Netflix, Spotify, iCloud, Duolingo Plus. Okay, don't look at me like that.
That's like $30, $40 a month without blinking, and that's normal for us. Then throw in eating out 3-4 times a week, Ubers instead of buses, the treat yourself Amazon orders at 2 a.m.
Okay, but those are small amounts. We're not buying yachts.
No, but death by a thousand cuts is real. If you're spending $5 here, $12 there, it adds up to hundreds every month on stuff you don't really need. That's rent money, that's savings, that's real.
I mean, I see your point, but I feel like you're making it sound like if we just stopped buying coffee, we'd be fine. That's not the full picture.
I'm not saying that's the only thing, but financial literacy is a real issue. Nobody taught us how to budget, how to invest, what a Roth IRA even is. And instead of figuring it out, a lot of us just swipe and deal with it later.
Okay, that last part I actually agree with, but I still think you're missing the bigger picture. Can I go now?
Laughs, please.
Okay, so yes, spending habits matter, but let's zoom out. Rent in most major cities has gone up like 30 to 50% in the last 5 years. Wages barely moved.
That's true. I won't argue that.
So when you say we're spending money we don't have, sometimes we don't have it because we're paying 2/3 of our paycheck in rent. That's not a latte problem. That's a housing crisis.
But that's why you don't live in the most expensive city and complain about rent.
Okay, but jobs are in those cities. You can't just move somewhere cheaper and still get the career opportunities you want. That's not realistic.
Remote work.
Which is disappearing. Companies are doing return to office mandates left and right. And entry-level jobs that used to pay livable wages now require 3 years of experience and pay $40,000 a year in 2025. That's wild.
Okay, that's genuinely messed up.
And don't get me started on student loans. We were told, go to university, get a degree, you'll be fine. And now we're paying that back for 20 years. That financial hole isn't from overspending. It was designed before we even entered the workforce.
Okay, so you're saying the game was rigged before we even sat down.
Exactly. And I'm not saying that means we throw our hands up and give up, but blaming individual choices ignores that the structure itself is broken.
That's fair. That's really fair, actually. Okay, so here's where I think we both land, right? It's both.
Yeah, the system is broken and we have real choices to make within that broken system.
Exactly. Like, I can acknowledge the rent crisis is real, wages are stagnant, student debt is a scam, and still say within that reality there are habits we can build to give ourselves more breathing room.
And I think the biggest one, honestly, is just knowing where your money is going. Not guilt-tripping yourself, just awareness.
Yes, because most of us, me included at one point, had no idea. Money came in, money went out, and I genuinely didn't know where it went.
It's wild, right? Like we spend so much energy on school, on work, on social media, and zero energy understanding the one thing that affects basically every part of our life.
And it's not because we're dumb, it's because nobody taught us. Schools don't teach it, parents, some of them didn't know either, or it was taboo to talk about money.
In a lot of cultures, you just don't talk about money. It's considered rude or private, and that silence costs us.
It really does. And I think that's why conversations like this matter. Not to be preachy, but just to normalize, hey, let's actually talk about this stuff.
Real talk over performative positivity. I'll take it.
Okay, I want to go somewhere a little deeper for a sec. Can we talk about the emotional side of money? Because I feel like nobody talks about this.
Oh, please, yes, this is so underrated.
Like, when my account is low, my whole mood changes. I get anxious, I get irritable, I make worse decisions. It's like a fog.
Financial anxiety is genuinely a thing. It's not just stress, it messes with your sleep, your focus, your relationships. There's actual research on this.
And the messed up part is that when you're financially anxious, you sometimes spend more. Like, emotional spending becomes a coping mechanism.
Yes, you feel bad about money, so you buy something small to feel better. And then you feel worse because you spent money. It's a cycle.
The doom spend. I've been there.
We've all been there. And I think social media makes it so much worse for our generation specifically. Like you're watching people your age on a yacht somewhere and you're like, why am I eating instant noodles?
And half of those people are in debt to look like that, or it's not even real.
Exactly. The comparison trap is brutal and it makes you feel behind even when you're actually doing okay.
So, how do you personally deal with that? Like when you feel that financial anxiety creeping in?
Honestly, I try to just close the apps, log off, and look at my actual numbers instead of someone else's highlight reel. Like, what do I actually have? What do I actually owe? What's the real situation?
Facing the numbers, even when it's scary.
Especially when it's scary, because the unknown is always worse than the truth.
That's real. I used to avoid checking my bank account because I didn't want to know. But not knowing didn't make it better, it just made me more anxious.
Avoidance is the enemy, and I think that's such a common Gen Z thing because we grew up being able to swipe away anything uncomfortable.
Swipe left on your problems.
Laughs, exactly. But money doesn't work like that, unfortunately.
Okay, let's talk solutions on a bigger scale too, because I don't want this to just be like, fix your habits and you're good. What do you think needs to change systemically?
Oh, I have thoughts. First, financial education needs to be mandatory in schools. Not optional, not an elective, required. How to do taxes, how credit works, what a Roth IRA even is, basic stuff that affects everyone.
It's wild that we can graduate high school knowing how to analyze a Shakespeare sonnet, but not how to file a tax return.
No offense to Shakespeare, but yeah, priorities seem off.
What else?
Wages need to actually reflect the cost of living. And I know that feels like a big political thing, but it's just math. If rent is $1,500 a month, you cannot survive on minimum wage. That's not opinion, that's arithmetic.
Hard to argue with arithmetic.
And I think there needs to be way more transparency around pay. Like, we're the generation that started talking openly about salaries, and it literally changed things. People found out they were being underpaid and started negotiating.
That's actually a Gen Z win. We normalize talking about money at work in a way previous generations didn't.
Huge win. And it makes companies nervous, which means we're doing something right.
Love that energy. What about the debt side, student loans specifically?
Look, the model is broken. 18-year-olds are signing up for $50, $60, $100,000 in debt before they've had a single real job. They have no idea what that means long term.
And the degree doesn't always pay off the way they promise it would.
Right, and I'm not saying don't go to university. I'm saying the cost needs to come down and the information needs to be way more honest up front. Like, here's what this degree typically earns, here's what this debt will cost you monthly, here's the actual math.
Informed consent, basically.
Exactly. You wouldn't sign any other contract without understanding it. Why is a student loan different?
That's such a good point. Okay, I want to bring it back to something more in our control though, because I don't want people to feel helpless.
Fair, because there are real things you can do even in a broken system.
Right. The system being broken doesn't mean we're powerless, it just means we have to be smarter and more intentional.
And look out for each other. Share information. Talk about money with your friends. Normalize it.
Because someone in your circle probably knows something you don't about a better savings account, about negotiating rent, about a side hustle that actually works.
Community knowledge is underrated. Your group chat might have the answer your parents couldn't give you.
That might be the most Gen Z sentence ever said on this podcast.
Laughs, we're leaning in.
Okay, before we get to takeaways, I want to do a quick rapid fire. Real opinions, no filter. Ready?
Let's go.
Buy or rent?
Rent for now, buy when it makes actual financial sense, and not just because society says you should by 30.
Okay, fair. Crypto, real investment or gamble?
Gamble dressed up in tech language. Treat it like a casino. Only put in what you can afford to lose completely.
Harsh, but probably right. Credit cards, good or bad?
Good if you pay them off every month and use the rewards. Destructive if you carry a balance. It's a tool, not free money.
That's the most responsible thing you've said all episode.
I have my moments. Okay, my turn. Side hustles, necessary or overrated?
Necessary for now, but it's a symptom of the problem, not a solution. We shouldn't have to have 3 income streams to survive.
Okay, that's actually a great answer.
Thank you. Last one. What's one thing you wish you knew about money at 18?
That compound interest works both ways. It builds your savings, but it also destroys you in debt. Understand it early, use it early.
Mine is your income is not your wealth. How much you keep matters more than how much you make. I knew people making good money who were still broke because everything went straight out.
Income is the water going in, wealth is how much stays in the bucket.
Exactly. Okay, that is a good line to end on before we wrap.
Write that one down, people.
All right, let's leave people with something useful. What's one thing you'd actually tell someone who's feeling hopeless about their finances right now?
Honestly, don't start with a complicated budget spreadsheet. Start by just tracking what you spend for 2 weeks. No judgment, no goals. Just look. You'll be shocked.
That's so real. Awareness first. And mine would be automate one thing, even if it's $10 a month into a savings account. Make it automatic so you never see it. Future you will thank present you.
And if you have debt, especially high-interest credit card debt, that's the one place where urgency actually matters. The interest compounds fast and quiet.
And look, we're not financial advisors. None of this is official financial advice. We're just two people who learned some things the hard way and want to have the real conversation.
Very much the hard way.
Very much. But okay, rapid fire before we go. Melody, are we too broke or too careless?
Too structurally disadvantaged with some careless habits on top.
That's your answer? That's very diplomatic.
What's yours?
Both. But the system part is scarier because it's not in our control. So I focus on the habits part.
That's actually really honest. I respect that.
All right, that's a wrap on episode 1 of Broke or Bougie. If this hit close to home, share it with a friend who also checks their bank account and size.
Drop us a comment. Are you Team Holmes or Team Melody on this one?
We read them all. Until next time.
Stay honest about your money, even when it's uncomfortable.
Bye, everyone.